Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Toast to Our Troops 2020, which is the first virtual fundraiser to benefit the military families, veterans, and caregivers served by the Code of Support Foundation. My name is Brianna Keilar. I am an anchor at CNN, but I'm also, and perhaps more importantly, an Army spouse. So I have been through some of the challenges that we're talking about tonight, and I certainly feel kindred spirit with some of the families that we are going to be meeting this evening. And this is why we are all here to raise awareness and support for the Code of Support Foundation. Code of Support changes lives by connecting military families, veterans, and caregivers to the support that they've earned through their service and their sacrifice, leveraging both direct case coordination services provided by their peer navigators and the free national network Patriot Link. And tonight, we will honor those who make possible the work of Code of Support. We're going to recognize outstanding leadership on behalf of military and veteran families. We're going to share some of their personal stories of sacrifice and of triumph, and we're going to raise critical funds to support this important work. A special thanks to our four-star sponsors tonight, Bristol Myers Squibb and PenFed Foundation. And it is very much my pleasure to re-welcome Ben Farrell of Custom Benefit Auctions. He is our auctioneer for this evening, and he is a true supporter of great causes. Ben?
Well, I am really excited to be here, and I just want to let everyone know that your investment tonight, your bids tonight, are going to make a dramatic increase in helping those men and women who have come back after serving us both at home and overseas, coming back to community, helping them with the transition. There are millions of veterans who are back and now in need our help. Code of Support is the one place, the best place to give them that effective support when they need it. Now, the auction is fun. I'm going to say this more than one tonight, that bidding feels good, Brianna, but winning feels so much better. Tonight's auction, you have a 10-day trip that you can bid on to go to Martha's Vineyard. You can have a multi-day trip really to the gorgeous bluegrass state of Kentucky to tour the signature and the craft distilleries. These are tastings. You have breakfast included, dinner included, amazing trip to the bluegrass state. We also have, from our longtime friend, of course, superstar Chef Irvine, we have an autographed chef's coat. Now, you can wear this for inspiration or hang it on the wall as a sign of what you have done here tonight. And we also have a great wine experience where you get to be a part of creating a specialty batch of wine for supporting Code of Support, and you get that first case off the production line. All of this is happening on your phone tonight. And so make sure you have your phone fully charged and connected where it needs to be connected so that you can bid on these items. These items will be closing at the end of the broadcast. So if you remember the early days of eBay, don't wait till the final second. Place your highest bid, and you can even set your maximum bid and let the software and technology bid on your behalf. So keep your phone in hand, enjoy the broadcast, listen carefully, but always keep those bids top of mind to make sure that you win. So thank you for bidding and supporting, and I'll be back a little bit later to make sure you get your final bids in. Brianna?
Ben, thank you so much. And now to kick us off tonight are the co-founders of the Code of Support Foundation. We have Major General Alan Salisbury and Christina Kaufman, the CEO, and they are joined by the chair of the Board of Trustees of Code of Support and former acting secretary of the Army, the Honorable Robert Speer.
Hi, I'm Alan Salisbury, Chairman Emeritus and co-founder of the Code of Support Foundation. I want to welcome you to tonight's virtual Toast to Our Troops. And I want to thank our sponsors, our patrons, our staff, and all those who worked so hard to make this evening possible. Almost 10 years ago, Christy Kaufman and I founded the Code of Support Foundation. When I retired from the Army back in 1987, I had a young captain by the name of Bob Speer who commanded our headquarters and headquarters company, responsible for taking care of the troops. Now, as we begin a new decade for the Code of Support Foundation in the year 2020, I'm thrilled to say that Bob Speer has accepted our request to be chairman of the board.
Hi, I'm Bob Speer, the chair of the Code of Support Foundation. Welcome to our first ever virtual Toast to Our Troops. As chair, I'm extremely proud to bring you this unique evening where we get to highlight the valuable work that we do at the Code of Support Foundation. I want to give a shout out to our Chair Emeritus, Major General Alan Salisbury, also our co-founder, as well as his wife, Florence, who have greatly contributed in their vision, their contributions, and their dedication to what the Code of Support Foundation is all about. It's through their efforts that we've been able to provide such great work to service members, veterans, and their families. I want to also thank you for participating in this evening and thank the sponsors who have made this evening, as well as our great work throughout the year, possible. We will also recognize this evening some great individuals and organizations that have provided support to our service members, veterans, and their families throughout the year. So thank you once again for participating with us and making it possible, the great work that we do. So Christy Kaufman, our CEO, will take it away.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Christy Kaufman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Code of Support Foundation. Welcome to our 6th annual, but first virtual Toast to Our Troops event. We're super excited to have you all here and really, really full of gratitude for everybody that's joined us, all the staff, the clients we'll be recognizing, the folks we'll be recognizing this evening. We couldn't do the work that we do without your support, and we need it now more than ever. We've seen a 200% increase in need since COVID-19. Troops, veterans, and their families across the country have been hit particularly hard by this pandemic. And we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure that they get the help they need. That's why our veteran peer navigators are standing by the phone on a daily basis to make sure that they are there to connect people to mental health, to housing, to financial resources. And we're also thrilled that our Patriot Link platform, which has 15,000 resources, all free and vetted, is able to be used by people from across the country, whether they're a provider or whether they're a veteran or family member themselves. So thank you to everybody. Thanks to the sponsors. And thank you in advance for your generosity. This is the time to give. If you are in a position to give, please give now. Troops, veterans, and families defended our country, and now they need us to stand with them.
Thank you so much, Alan, Bob, and Christy. We are certainly grateful for your leadership and the important work that you are leading on behalf of Code of Support. And we have our next special guest now, celebrity chef and host of Food Network's Restaurant Impossible, Robert Irvine. You probably know him. And he operates 2 restaurants, actually, the Public House at the Tropicana Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada, and also Fresh Kitchen, which is located within the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And Robert Irvine's commitment to our military and veteran families is made clear by his longtime commitment to the Code of Support Foundation and the work of his own Robert Irvine Foundation. Please welcome the chef, Chef Irvine.
Hi, folks. I'm Chef Robert Irvine. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected every person and every business on the planet in some fashion. It has been especially challenging on some of the most vulnerable members of our community, like the at-need military veterans and their families. With the economy and recession, charitable donations are drying up, and vital, unique services, like the ones provided by the Code of Support Foundation, are now put in danger. That's why I'm proud to support this incredible organization and all that it does. Remember, health is much more than just physical. Without concrete community connections and access to mental health services, the quality of life of our veterans can decline and put their future in jeopardy. Tonight, the Code of Support Foundation is raising awareness of the realities facing our veterans and their families. I'm confident that together, by spreading the word and assisting organizations like the Code of Support and my own nonprofit, the Robert Irvine Foundation, that we can create real, lasting, positive change for our veterans, to whom we owe so much of our freedom and our very way of life. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and thank you for your support. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Chef, thank you so much for that. You were certainly an inspiration to all of us with your commitment to our heroes in and out of uniform. And next, we welcome our keynote speaker for this evening. It is a true pleasure to honor and welcome the current Secretary for the U.S. Army, the Honorable Ryan McCarthy. He was sworn in as the 24th Secretary of the Army in September of 2019. He was unanimously confirmed by the U.S. Senate, no small thing. And he, of course, as secretary, has statutory responsibilities for all matters that relate to the U.S. Army. This includes recruitment, organization, training, equipping, and caring for 1.4 million active duty National Guard Reserve soldiers, as well as the Department of Army civilians and their families. And prior to this, Secretary McCarthy served as the special assistant to the 22nd Secretary of Defense, Robert Gates. That was under Presidents Bush and Obama. And in that role, he advised as the secretary's representative to the White House, to Congress, national security agencies, and other foreign governments as well. So please, a big welcome for the Secretary of the Army, Ryan McCarthy.
Welcome to this year's Toast to Our Troops. I regret not being able to attend tonight in person, but wanted to extend my gratitude for the CODA Support Foundation and their unrelenting effort that they provide to our Army, our veterans, and our families. This year, your work will be needed more than ever. This is an extraordinary time for the nation and the Army at large, bearing witness to about 80 years worth of events in 7 months. Starting with New Year's Eve, we launched a no-notice, cold start deployment of elements of the 82nd Airborne Division to the Middle East. This followed the successful kinetic strike against the top threat in the region, Quds Force leader Qasem Soleimani. And then the Army stood unflinching, ready at the brink of war with Iran. 45 days after, we faced a global pandemic on a scale that the world has not seen since 1918 with the Spanish flu influenza. In addition to the 178,000 soldiers deployed around the world conducting operations, we mobilized 45,000 Army National Guard, Army Reserves, and Corps of Engineers members as a part of a whole of government response to COVID-19 here at home where our cities and states needed them the most. Soldiers on the front lines of the pandemic built hospitals, ran nursing homes, turned parking lots into sterile testing sites, and delivered life-saving food and water to their fellow citizens. Simultaneously, the U.S. Army Medical Research and Development Command, the same group that co-developed the vaccine for Ebola and Zika, began working around the clock for a race for a vaccine. As a part of Operation Warp Speed, led by our very own General Gus Perna. As one crisis tapered, another one began. The killing of George Floyd sparked a massive civil unrest that had been simmering across the country for decades. Once again, the Army National Guard responded, ensuring that peaceful protesters could be heard. The Guardsmen, supporting law enforcement, handled themselves with maturity and compassion. The Army has been busy, but at no point in these times of crises did we operate alone. I am grateful for organizations like the CODA Support Foundation, who provide direct support rapidly to those affected the most. Thank you for what you do. Enjoy tonight's festivities, and looking forward to working together in this year ahead.
Thank you for that, Mr. Secretary. And now we are turning to the reason that we are here this evening, and that is to recognize some of our American heroes who are in need of help. This is a real organization that is doing real work with real families. And we want to stress that these are real videos. These are not professional videos. These are real stories told like we all are from our homes. And so like many other military and veteran families, the Brown family first struggled with transition to civilian life, but now they're thriving. Kim, Chris, and their two daughters were dealing with mounting issues. They were dealing with isolation compounded by the pandemic, and they searched everywhere, but they couldn't find the help or the local connections that they needed. And of course, connection is so important, especially in this time that we're in right now. That was until they found Code of Support's national network of no-cost resources for veterans, Patriot Link.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. My name is Kim Brown. I'm a dual caregiver fellow and a caregiver to my husband, Chris Brown.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Brown. I'm a wounded veteran, so my wife is my caregiver. So.
When Chris medically retired from active duty Army in 2015, I think we both didn't anticipate how hard that transition out was going to be. It was going to be a rough road ahead. And I think just as time went on, we really realized that there were really different levels of support our family needed to navigate post-injury.
Yeah. For me, it was literally on Friday, I was in, the military. And then on Monday, I started a new job. And there was no time for me to really transition out. That, the Army has a transition assistance program, but that's pretty much just to help you find a job. It's not really to help you get ready to transition to civilian life, where you have a completely different set of rules and also a different set of guidelines that you have to follow.
We went from living on this big military base, and anything military related that you needed or any support, really, it was within your fingertips. But then you move out of that space and you're kind of left on your own to find those resources or to find that support or even find somebody who gets what you're going through. So it created a lot of isolation for me. I've been able to use Patriot Link to access different resources. It saved me from Googling things and it being the wrong type of support, or they don't serve veterans with my husband's type of illness. Our family's been impacted by COVID in so many different ways. Chris was furloughed back in March, and it took 3 months for us to even see unemployment benefits. Being a caregiver or a veteran, you already feel this isolation or this, segregation from the rest of the world with what you're going through. And now you're told you can't leave your house, you can't connect with those support groups, you can't be around those individuals anymore. And you can only do so from, the place of your home. So I think mental health wise, it's been a real struggle for us. And, having PTSD and a TBI doesn't make any of those hurdles easier.
In that regard, there's definitely you feel a lot of guilt for asking for help. You just don't want to do it. And it's also a pride thing, especially for military people. There's a lot of pride that you build in being in the military. So you don't want to have to reach out for help. But when you need it, you really should ask for help, and it will really open a lot of doors for you.
We would definitely recommend Code of Support to other families. The Christmas that our daughters had was just really special. And I think the one thing that sticks out to us about this experience that's been different from any other organization is just that it's not just somebody giving your kids stuff or writing you a check. There was a deeper connection made. Thank you so much for having us tonight. Thank you, Code of Support, for what you've done for our family. And thank you to everyone who opens up their checkbooks tonight and donates. Just know it's a worthy cause. It affects families like us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it really actually does help. It really does help.
Thank you. Say thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And thank you so much to Chris and Kim Brown. It takes a lot to ask for help, and it takes a lot to tell your story and really open up. And we're so appreciative that they could do that. Just to give you a look at some of the veteran and military families that are being served by Code of Support that you're going to hear more about tonight as you have the chance to support them. So next we have a very special message for you and the other veteran families that are watching tonight. This is from NASCAR driver and Navy Lieutenant Commander Jesse Iwuji. And when not serving as an officer in the Navy Reserve, Jesse competes in the NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series in the number 33 Chevy Silverado for Room Brothers Racing, and also in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in the number 13 Toyota Supra for MBM Motorsports. Jesse attended the United States Naval Academy, and that's where he joined the school's football and track and field teams. On the former, he was a free safety for the Navy midshipman. He graduated from the academy in 2010, and he entered the Navy as a surface warfare officer. And that is where he served on the mine countermeasures ship Exultant and the USS Comstock. And after 7 years on active duty, Iwuji transitioned to the Navy Reserve. So Jesse, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your service.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jesse Iwuji, U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander and also NASCAR Xfinity Series and NASCAR Truck Series driver. I've seen firsthand how COVID-19 pandemic has affected my brothers and sisters in arms, and I'm so proud to support organizations actively working to solve the complex problems that they face. Since the COVID-19 pandemic has hit the U.S., Code of Support has seen a massive increase in applications for assistance, with the most notable things being homelessness, mental health assistance, and also financial aid. It's clear that our nation's heroes need us more than ever right now. So tonight, I stand with you as we honor our service members, our veterans, our caregivers, military families who have sacrificed so much for our great freedom in this nation. Freedom has never been free. So to all of you, I salute you. Stay safe, everyone.
Jesse, thank you so much for that. We certainly appreciate your support and your service and all the visibility that you're bringing. Next, you're going to be hearing from a remarkable wounded warrior and his family. This is the Pierce family. Please note their video quality isn't the best. I mean, personally, I think I'm competing on my Wi-Fi with cars playing right now. So we're just doing the best we can, right? But their words really matter here. So let's pay attention to that. And they're sending these messages to us from the rural mountains of North Carolina. They have 8 children. No, that is not a typo. They have 8 kids in homeschool, and they're all sharing just one internet connection. So just keep that in mind as we check out their video here. Colby Pierce is an Army veteran whose injury during deployment in Iraq impacted his entire family. Their struggle to find support reached a treacherous peak before the pandemic, and that is when they found Code of Support and began working with their peer navigator, Marjorie, who they say has made all of the difference for them.
Hi, I'm Cindy Pierce. This is my husband, Colby Pierce, a veteran of the U.S. Army. We live in North Carolina. We are a family with 8 children, and actually have just welcomed our first granddaughter.
I was in the military for 9.5 years. I was in Iraq for about 6 months. I was injured. I had a traumatic brain injury, and pretty much have dealt with that and some PTSD. When I got out of the military, I got out early. I felt pretty useless. I felt like I'd failed at everything. And then I'd have lots of problems with the PTSD, memory issues. Just life was hard. Life was hard for Cindy. She had to, and the kids, because out of the middle of nowhere, I just would go off on people and on them, and you know, it's not any way to live. They walked around on eggshells for years.
When Colby was injured, and subsequently they did not feel that he was fit for duty any longer, honorably discharged him. But at that point, neither he nor I had any guidance, any support, any education on what to do with the new Colby. He very much was different pre-injury to post-injury. And so it was as if I had been given a whole new husband who I had never met before, and now had to try to figure out, you know, how to deal with him or how to help him or those kind of things. And then he was very much given a whole new life and how to deal with it. And so we just never had any help.
I felt like there were guys that I knew that were more injured than I was. And I felt like I didn't need the help that they needed. I don't know. I felt like I could just push through and do what I needed to do and get life done. But, you know, you push hard for a while and eventually you run out of energy. You can't do it anymore, and you literally just break apart. You literally get to the point in your life where you consider taking your own life. And I got to that point, and lucky God was looking out for me, maybe. I don't know, but I didn't die. So, and that was when I had to get some help. I had to figure out some way to fix what was wrong with me.
I actually got to meet Marjorie Pennington, and she is the first person that I actually even spoke with. I did speak with Christy as well and shared what was going on. And to be honest with you, I didn't have to do much. They stepped in and filled in those gaps of what I didn't even know to do. CODA support also helped us to really push for Colby to get mental health help. And so he actually is now doing telehealth with an individual counselor in our community, actually. I also was encouraged through CODA support and connected to a link to get counseling for myself to talk through things on how to help Colby and how I'm coping with the things that we go through.
If I could say one thing to the vets and their families out there is don't give up. Don't quit. And keep pushing. There are organizations like CODA, the support out there that will help you. You just got to find them, and you got to trust them.
So I would just like to take a moment and thank first and foremost CODA Support Foundation. All of you who work with this organization just have such an extremely important role in helping families that I truly hope that each of you know what a blessing you are to families like ourselves who have needed help, and to anybody out there that in any way has contributed to CODA Support Foundation's purpose in helping veteran families. Anybody who cares about veteran families and the importance of getting them care, we as a family thank you.
And if you had any doubt about the support that you can provide tonight, I think Cindy and Colby really might have answered your questions. And it's really just so amazing to see Colby smile there, isn't it? I've done some reporting recently on veteran families and active duty families who have lost their service members, and there was not that intervention. And it is amazing to see Colby talk so openly about this topic that does need a lot of attention. And I just want to say to him and to Cindy as well, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And we're so grateful that you could be here with us tonight. I also want to thank Marjorie Pennington and the caregiver support team at CODA Support. You can tell what a difference they make and what heroes they are doing this important work. Of course, meeting the challenges of transitioning from military to civilian life comes with so many things, right? Starting new jobs, you're raising kids. In the case of Cindy and Colby, 8, all of this going through a global pandemic. And the Pierce family are just like so many veteran families that are calling upon CODA support for help. Since the pandemic, CODA support has actually seen more than a 200% increase in demand for their services. We are virtual this year. We are unfortunately not in person, but the need for this support is even more than it is in a non-pandemic year. And here now to help raise the funds that are desperately needed to continue this very important life-changing work, I want to welcome back our auctioneer, Ben Farrell.
Thank you so much, Brianna. So I want to just encourage you now to find a way. If you are not inspired after hearing those stories, I tell you, I am certainly moved by what we've just heard. And this is our night. This is the one night, the signature event, the biggest time of the year. Imagine that you were a business that was open only this one 30-minute segment of the year. You would need everyone, all customers, and in this case, donors and those who are invested to make a difference. Obviously, we have amazing live auction items that you can be bidding on, and that will end in 29 minutes. But there are 5 of those. And that means only 5 winners in the live auction. But Brianna, right here, this is a moment that everyone can contribute. So if you have your phone handy, we're going to pull the screen up in just a moment. And I want to encourage you to find it somewhere, an amount that is meaningful for you, and simply make the donation. Now, I'm on my phone right now, so I'm just going to the home screen. Everyone should have received a text message from One Cause. And the biggest button, Brianna, on the screen for a reason says donate now. And you know, the top button there is $5,000. And I would just like to maybe invite right now, if you want to be that person to lead the way for giving $5,000, this is serving those men and women, their caregivers, and their families. With this, the most important, maybe key of all, which is the link to the resources that they need when they need them the most. And now is that time. I do know that we do have some friendly names that are going to lead the way at $5,000, and those are Mr. and Mrs. Kaufman. So I don't know if they are any relation to our founder, Christy, but we'd invite them now to lead the way at $5,000. And you can just follow right along with me, making your donations already, by the way, just since the start of our program, Brianna, we have $3,700 already donated. And Libby Jameson is one of those who has donated. So we encourage you now on your phone, you find an amount, there's 5,000, 2,500, and there's down to 1,500, knowing that those donations will make a difference. We encourage you to make that donation right now. Every dollar will help. And the silent auction, the live auction, of course, continues just a little bit longer. Follow the link. If you have registered, you'll be receiving that link right now. And we want to watch that amount climb. So here we go. Joe Drack, thank you very much. He's found the button. He's making a donation. Our goal here is to take this right to the top. We want to raise as much as we can. Think about all the money you have saved while sheltering in place, right? You haven't been going out. Someone said that their gas company called them and said, listen, you haven't charged any gasoline in many weeks. Is everything okay? Of course it's okay. Find that amount and make a donation. Make that donation. Kathy Pretzer has just made a donation. Now here we are at over $4,000. Let's get this to 10 or 15 or 20. Tonight is the night. If you find yourself logged in and watching, I just want you to pick an amount that is meaningful and send it in. You know, if you are, by the way, one of the first who will give even $100. So I want to tell you this right now. If you're the first 50 people that give $100, we are going to send a gift card, a $100 gift card to servicemen and women and their families. Food insecurity is a real crisis in America, and especially for our veterans. So right now, in our great support with Giant, go ahead and make that donation right now. Enter the amount and let's watch it climb. So let's give them go. Brianna, what do you think? You think we can get a little bit higher here? I believe that we can. I believe that we can.
I think we can, Ben. And what I'm going to say is that I hope that people think of Cindy and Colby, because while their story is so important, it's not unique, right? There are so many families that I have heard from who tell an incredibly similar story to the challenges that they're dealing with. And what we want to do is keep them on this side of things, of being supported. It's not very often. I think sometimes we will donate to causes and we're hoping so much that we make a difference. But I mean, look at their story, look at Marjorie Pennington and the caregiver team, and you can see directly where your donation is going. And then on this issue of food insecurity, this is something that I've talked about in my reporting, Ben, and there's a lot of people who don't realize that there are a number of military folks, active duty veterans, and the list goes on, who are dealing with serious food insecurity. This was the case before the pandemic. Look, we know that food bank access is spiked here during the pandemic, but this was already a problem that's been compounded. And so this is something, as you have military spouses who might have been supplementing the income of their service member, or in the case of veterans as well, they don't have that money coming in. They need this help desperately. And you are someone who can put food on the table. And in some of the cases of these families, you know, the parents, they take the hit, Ben, but they're protecting the kids from going hungry. And we've done some reporting out where even the kids have started to go hungry. So just imagine that when you think about the amount that is meaningful to you and knowing the difference that you can make, Ben.
Oh, thank you so much. And you know, the money is coming in right now. We are so excited to see those donations. Al Runner and Bob and Robin all making donations. We're at $5,400. You know, we're just going to say right out, I told the team here, we're going to get way over $10,000. So when we're ready, let's just get in there and let those donations come in. If you think about Code of Support, what a grand idea that it was to be a centralized place. So amass all of the confusion on where to go, how to do it, how to access. They are that key. And just sometimes knowing that you've got the right path to follow can reduce that stress load, allow you to begin on that path to healing, that path of restoration. And so if you're watching right now, and we know we have lots of people registered, follow the link that you received in your phone, and then hit the home screen and simply hit donate now. And I say that, listen, a lot of people, me included, I spend over $100 a month just to watch TV. Valuable news, right, Brianna? Just like we like to watch you. There we go. Look, the Kaufman's coming in with 5,000. Now we're at 11,000. Now we are rolling. I can see that we have made the connection. And here we go, Brianna. We're at 11,400. And Roxanne St. John is making a donation. I'm going to pull this over just so I can share with you all these amazing names. Roxanne St. John, thank you. We're at 11,425. I think there is every reason we should get to $20,000 right here. Every reason to celebrate the men and women. There are nearly 20 million veterans here. And so a third of them, it's reported that a third of them are struggling right now. And whether that is with injury, whether that is getting employment, whether that is their PTSD and TBI, we have to be there for them. So let's keep the money rolling here. We're at 11,000 anonymous donors coming in. Thank you. We love you, Anonymous. We're at 12,425. Brianna, I think we could get Glenn Archer. Thank you. We're at 13,000. I say we go for $20,000. This would be a message that we could send to all of those families currently searching for help. And you heard earlier, someone said, I went to Google. Now, Google is going to give you a lot of information, but Code of Support and Patriot Link is going to give you the right information, the direct information. So join Glenn and everyone else who's made a donation right now. Just find it. Be one of those that will give $100 and send $100 in food to a family who needs you right now all across America. I feel like when we think of them, Brianna, they have given so much in service to us, to this country, a legacy of those who have served in the past and setting the road straight for those who will serve in the future. When they come back, it is our turn, our time to be there right side by side, to be their partners, to be their support system. This is, I think, what we owe those men and women who have done so much for us. There is, okay, now if I mess up your name, this is Gorkum Sevnik and Dorothea Lang. If I mess up your name, make another donation and I will try to say it right the next time I see it on my screen. Come on, we're at $13,675. Let's go for $20,000 and celebrate big. Join those who've made a donation and just make it happen right now. I will, Brianna, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see where we are on our live auction items, but I don't want to stop here because we want to hit 20,000. Martha's Vineyard, currently at $4,500. The Chef Irvine autograph jacket, $1,500. Kathy Pretzer, thank you, Kathy. Now, Kathy is giving again. We're nearly at 14,000. We want to celebrate. We want to shout from the rooftops. We are raising money and making a difference tonight. By the way, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're at 13,925. Brianna, 20,000, of course, is in the ballpark. Don't you think we can get that done?
I do think that we can get that done. And just like you said, these are folks who have answered the call. And there aren't that many people who do that, Ben, as you are aware. It is a small section of the population in this all volunteer force that shoulders this burden. And look, sometimes they need our help. And there's also nothing better than to step up and give your help in the way that you can. And this is one of the ways that we can do that. Right? This is what is needed at this time. And you can really see the real impact that Code of Support has for active duty families and for veterans. And when they are going out of their way to say, look, I need some help with something, that's where it comes in, where we can say, yeah, we can help you. That's what this is all about. That's what that number that we're seeing is all about, Ben.
Well, you're absolutely right. So I just want to ask you if you're watching, and if you've waited till now, certainly we love you for that. We want to give a final push. And someone once said, Ben, what would $100 do? Well, given in community, given together as a collective investment, know that it will have an impact. And even if it's $50 given together with everyone else, we're at $13,925. I would certainly love to see this climb just a little bit higher as we close down on the auction. So, you know, Brianna, if this were a live auction, here we would be, here we go to give it a bit, able to buy, able to go give, but that is not happening in the virtual environment, right? We are just encouraging you to dig deep and join your colleagues, join your community in making an investment. I just want to check and see where we are on our silent auction. The live auction, but everything will be closing down here very shortly. So I just want to make sure everyone is up to date. You know, we laughed about the early days of eBay when you were bidding at the last second only to lose. Make sure that you bid. You can set your maximum bid on these items. Martha's Vineyard currently at $4,600. And we have this, a wooden flag with a Barney Barnum, a Medal of Honor recipient autographed on this flag. You will be able to look back on the year 2020 and say, we were a part of bringing people together. That we could look back at 2020 with all of the challenges. We were a part of providing support. We were a part of the code of support. So our trip to Bourbon Land in central Kentucky, we're currently at $1,600. There's only 16 minutes to go. So if you'd like to make a donation, we're going to call upon you right now. Final moments here to make your donation. We've got 16 minutes, Brianna, and I think we should just go for one final push here. Maybe even 75 to take us to an even 14,000, because auctioneers, we don't sleep well at night with odd numbers.
No, I agree. It has to be rounded out there, Ben. I think we can do it. And
well, let's keep going.
Those live auction items, those are some fabulous items there that people are bidding on. Martha's Vineyard, best family vacation I've ever been on. The Bourbon Country trip, a little different kind of a trip, but those are some of the best memories that I have when it comes to travel. And I would encourage anyone to take part in that. You will be building beautiful memories once we're in a better place to travel.
Well, here it comes. Look, it is happening. Thank you so much. Yes. $15,000. Let's go. Now the guests are stepping in. Now, you know, we can't stop. We're going to have to keep going here. $15,925. This is absolutely exciting. Let's go. Can we pull that up so everyone can see on the screen that the guests of John and John are giving? And John, we appreciate you bringing these guests. Let's just take a look right now and see what it looks like. We're at $15,925. I'm telling you, if you want to get fired up, just give an amount. Make a donation right here, because $20,000 would be something to celebrate. We're counting it down with less than 15 minutes to go. There's every reason. Yes, $16,000, $9,000. Now we're $3,000 away. And if you don't think we can't get there within $3,000, come on. This is our big night. This is where we cannot stop. We have to say yes. Luis Gonzalez, we thank you so very much for your donation. Come together, everyone. Make a donation. This is where you can feel good. You can put your hand up and you can pat yourself on the back and say, I've done this, right? You can say, when someone starts to tell you they're complaining about something, you can stop them right there and say, we have nothing to complain about. We are here making a difference for the men and women, their children, their caregivers, people battling back from severe adversity. This is our chance to be there for them. Now we're at $16,925. I just say, help us celebrate. You know how good it feels to cross the finish line there at $20,000, or even $17,000, right? Would be good. But let's keep going. I know that you want to help. Just reach down there, make the donation. I'm watching the countdown clock, and you don't want to run out of time. But here we are with 14 minutes to go. What do you think? Should we have a final push, Brianna? One final push. What do you think?
One final push. And I would also just say, look, a lot of us are blessed to still be employed, right? And as we think about that at this moment in time, we have to think as well of folks who are in need. And we're seeing this 200% spike in the need for code of support. So just remember that. If you have, I know everything is incredibly stressful right now, but if you do have job security and you have been able to save some money on whether it's buying lunches out or gas in your car, or the fact that you didn't have to buy pants or a dress for this event, think about where that money can go to help code of support.
So here we go. This is going to be the final push. So I would just want to let you know that once we're going to move on, there we go, $17,000. You are absolutely amazing. $17,025. We thank you so very much. If you are bidding on these items, you are making a donation. We're going to move on with our program, but I just want you to know that this will stay open and available for just a few more minutes. Now, let me check the clock. So I tell you, 12 minutes to go. We'll come back a little bit later and check and see where we are, Brianna. But now for everyone who has made a donation, you have made an investment in those hearts and in those families. And we thank you that you are a part of the solution and helping those during this time. So a big thanks, $17,000, almost matching that in the live auction portion. So let's move on, Brianna, to our next segment. Everyone, we'll be back to tell you how we did in tonight's auction.
All right, Ben, thank you so much for that. And thank you so much to all of our generous donors. Keep it up. It's such impressive giving, and it's so important, the work that this is going to provide. And Ben, you talked about how many veteran families worry about putting food on the table, and that this has really been magnified in this time of quarantine. Next, we're going to hear from a family who found the code of who found the code of support, the Martin family, and they agreed to share their story here tonight with us. Before the pandemic, Theresa was an Army veteran and single grandmother, raising 2 teenage grandsons while working 7 days a week as a chef and a culinary instructor. She is deeply committed to healthy eating for herself and her family and her community. But when her work paused because of COVID-19, the bills quickly mounted, and food, and in particularly healthy food, became really scarce. Theresa sought help, found code of support, and her peer navigator, Beverly, who connected her family to the resources that she couldn't find on her own.
Hello, my name is Theresa Martin, and I was in the Army, Specialist 4th Class. Right now, I currently reside in Pines, Georgia. Been here over 25 years, moved here from Saginaw, Michigan. I am currently assisting raising my 2 grandchildren. Even though everybody say I don't look like a grandmother, I am 58 years young. I will be 59 in October the 16th. And I have 2 grandsons, ages 8 and 15. When the pandemic hit, I think it was like March 13th, that they told us we would not be working anymore at the school, and I would not be working after school in the daycare. This current situation state that we're in right now, everyone needs to be helping somebody. Everybody needs to be putting someone up with you, because right now, everybody needs somebody to make it. It may not be you today, but it may be you tomorrow. The way the economy is and situation is, everybody needs to help someone. And everybody needs to know veterans need help too. Veterans are not out here getting $1 million checks every month. Veterans need help too. That Saturday, when I got that envelope, I didn't know what I was going to do for lunch for the rest of the day. I didn't know what I was going to do for dinner. I didn't even know what I was going to do for Sunday. So I thank you. My grandsons, thank you. And we just appreciate you so much. Beverly, I just really want to thank you with all the support, my coordinator who made all this possible. I really, really thank you. Like I said earlier, words can't express how much that I thank you. You made me feel so comfortable talking to you. Again, you never judged me. You talked to me. You talked to me like I was a sister I didn't know I needed or had. And I thank you so much. You were just an angel. I want you to continue to do for others what you did for me, and never take for granted that your work is not important. Without you, I don't know where I would be. So I thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Theresa, for sharing your story. We know that so many veteran families like the Martins need this assistance with medical supplies and access to food and healthy food options. Code of Support would like to thank all of their funding partners for making this incredibly important work possible. Like the Martin, Pierce, and Brown families, veterans and their caregivers are working so hard to overcome challenges with transition to civilian life and even basic survival here in this most recent crisis. So now we would like to celebrate these families and all of those who are watching tonight as we join together to toast our troops. So please lift your glasses as we watch.
A toast to our service members, veterans, caregivers, and military families.
We are honored to support Code of Support for over 5 years. We know that our donations go incredibly far to support veterans and their families.
Cheers. This is Chris in Colorado, and a special toast to our troops. Thanks for all that you do.
I stand with the service members, veterans, military families. Thank you for your service.
Here's a toast to our troops. Thank you so much for your service and sacrifice.
Here's to our heroes in the military, both active and retired. Thank you and your families for the sacrifices you make so that we can be free and prosperous. Thank you. Thank you. Apple juice for them.
From my family to yours, thanks for serving our country.
Cheers to the troops!
To all our brave service members, veterans, and their families, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Here's to you. Cheers.
Hi, Kevin Sheehan and Julia Spicer here. We're delighted to be supporting Toast to Our Troops, the signature virtual event for Code of Support Foundation.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers. Hey everybody, shout out and a huge toast to our troops, veterans, and family members, especially the family members holding it down like y'all always do. This one is for you.
Marjorie, Matthew, and Booty here. We just want to thank our troops, past and present, and their families for their service and sacrifice to our great country.
Thank you for your service.
I'd like to toast the brave men and women of our military and thank you for everything that you do. Here is to the United States military. Thank you.
As a member of the board of directors of the Code of Support, I'd like to thank all soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines for their service, and a debt of gratitude as well to their caretakers, family members, wives, mothers, fathers, and children. And thank you again, all those who serve.
Two things. First, thank you for supporting America's veterans. Second, the next time you go skiing, please wear a ski helmet. It could save your life the way this one saved mine.
Hi, this is Sherry Thompson, Code of Support board member and chairman of the 2020 Toast to Our Troops Steering Committee. I want to give a huge shout out to the Code of Support staff and all of our donors. Thank you for all that you do. The mission of Code of Support is critical in helping support our military community, especially during this time of national crisis. So thank you and cheers.
Thank you to all the active service members and veterans of our great military. Your values, your core beliefs are all something we should aspire to. Thank you to the families that support our troops. You are the foundation for their sacrifice. Cheers, and God bless you all.
Hi, I'm Celia Ward. I don't think that there has ever been a period in the history of this United States that I have felt that our men and women in the armed forces, our veterans, past and present, all of our service people needed to know how much you are appreciated. The values that you have, the integrity, the honor, the courage that you have are exactly what our political climate is here today. And you need to know how much you are cherished, how much you are loved, how much we need you and honor you. All of us here in the masses think you rock. We love you. Thank you so much for all of the work you do to keep us safe. Please go vote.
Hey everybody, it's Hill Harper, and I just want to say a huge thank you. And I am so proud to support our service members, our veterans, our caregivers, and our military families of America. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service and all that you do for all of us. And a huge thank you to Code of Support and the great work that you do. It's so vital and so important, and we thank you for that. God bless everybody, and again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
To our service members, veterans, and their families, a toast to our troops.
Oh, that was wonderful. And Ben, you let us know how we're doing. I see we are at a round number, which must feel good for you.
Well, yes, of course. Yes, of course it does. I'm so excited. We are at $19,000. And, I may just, this, by the way, this mask, this very attractive mask is a handmade Code of Support mask. And this is part of our fundraising effort tonight. For a $25 donation, you will receive one. Now, many people during the toast right there were making donations that puts us at $19,000. You can wear this mask, and when people look, you can explain and you can share the story of Code of Support. We have to share this amazing story so that we can have others join us in this movement of providing support. Now, for those sports fans out there, you have to understand the 2-minute drill. The final 2 minutes of any game is where all the scoring is taking place. And this is where all the bidding, Brianna, is going to take place. We're at $19,050. We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to bid in the auction. And these are auction items like ski lift tickets, like wine, and the trip to Kentucky to restock your bourbon. Maybe this is just a rumor, but apparently many Americans, their reserves have been hit hard while sheltering in place. I can't explain it, but 1 minute, 50 seconds to go. We're at $19,050. If you are watching and we can sell all of these masks at $25, we're going to hit the $20,000 mark. I believe that we can do it. If you've given, I may call upon you to give one more time to help us reach $20,000, a significant number to celebrate. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Martha's Vineyard. Now, if there's a place in America that has 5 stars in every location in a vacation spot, it is Martha's Vineyard. And this could be yours. It is a home for 10 days. You can sleep 14 people. The gorgeous dining room table accommodates dinner for 12. But Brianna, someone said, I may pay a little extra. Go by myself for some peace and quiet, live like a king or queen, okay? The countdown is here. Also, the autographed wooden flag. This is something that is a family heirloom, can be passed down. The Medal of Honor recipient signing on the back, Mr. Barnum, you can make it happen. So here we go, less than a minute to go, less than a minute. If we were in the live auction room, I would be saying, here we go to give it a bit, able to go, 1 more minute to go, 1 more minute, make it happen, everybody. Bourbon Country, autographed chef's jacket. Think of all the people who said yes to the donations. Yes, during this time of sheltering in place. Yes, we stand with you for these men and women and their families. Let's go. Counting down. It looks like we maybe gone some extra innings there. Stand by as I'm counting it down. It looks like the bidding, Brianna, may still continue. So I call upon you. Final reminder, your gift of $100. We will send, Code of Support will send $100 in food gift certificates to those families who need it right now. They need it tonight. So consider making that donation. Here the number climbs, 19,300. Be one of those that can put $100 on someone's table tonight. I'm often reminded of a person that said when they were young and they had no food in the home. On Thanksgiving Day, someone knocked at the door and the family opened the door and there was their Thanksgiving dinner. And the father said, we don't accept charity, and tried to slam the door. And the volunteer put their foot in the door and said, no, wait just a moment. The father was so upset and was so prideful that he stormed out and said he never came back. But the young man looked down and said, the world is a generous place. The world is a giving and supportive place. That person has gone on to be quite successful. And last year at Thanksgiving fed over 2 million families. So this is the difference you can make. We're at $21,000, Brianna. A absolute salute to all those who've made a donation. Thank you. Success in the bidding. And look, I think this donation can stay open just a little bit longer, but I know we have some special guests who have some words with us tonight.
Yeah, we are looking so good there, Ben. Thank you for keeping that open. Very inspiring just to see those numbers jump. I'm excited now to share these next words of encouragement for you and others like you. From Coach K, who is the head basketball coach for Duke University. Since 1980, Coach K has served as the head men's basketball coach at Duke, and he has led the Blue Devils to 5 NCAA Division I titles, 12 Final Fours, 15 ACC men's basketball tournament championships, 12 ACC regular season titles. And Coach K has also coached the U.S. men's national basketball team to 3 gold medals at the 2008, 2012, and 2016 Summer Olympics. And he served as the head coach of the American team that won gold medals at the 2010 and the 2014 FIBA World Cup. Coach K is a West Point grad, go Army, and was a point guard at Army West Point Black Knights men's basketball team from 1966 to 69 before he became the head coach from 75 to 80. He's a two-time inductee into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and we are thrilled to welcome Coach K.
Hi, I'm Coach Mike Krzyzewski of the Duke University Blue Devils. I was the USA basketball coach for 11 years, and I'm a West Point graduate. I actually was a captain in the Army, field artillery officer for 5 years. So I appreciate toasting our troops, people from all branches of the service, and to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for not only your service, but the service of your families. No greater group in our country than the people who serve in our military. And so tonight, a toast to you, a toast of thanks.
Coach K, thank you so much for your words and your leadership and your support. And next, we're going to meet tonight's first Toast to Our Troops 2020 honoree, Margarita Devlin, Principal Deputy Undersecretary for Benefits of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs.
It is my pleasure to be here. As a VA leader, a proud military mom, and a grateful citizen, I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of VA and for all we do to support our nation's heroes and their families and survivors. It's been an inspiring time at VBA, and I am proud to be part of it. Shared creativity and vision have propelled VBA to recent innovations and the ability to excel in spite of obstacles. This is especially true in the transition space, with programs like the Transition Assistance Program, which supports transitioning service members, and our newest program, Solid Start, which supports veterans in their first year after separation. And these are just a small part of VBA's overall mission and recent accomplishments. The recognition of this award is a testament to the efforts of committed VA and VBA staff across the country. It's my good fortune to lead them in our mission to support service members, veterans, their families, and survivors. The value of partnerships and community connections like Code of Support cannot be overstated when it comes to supporting the total well-being of veterans and their families. Building trusted connections and reaching and supporting veterans in the communities where they work and live is essential to their success. Working together with community resources and other nonprofits, we have and will continue to have a positive impact on the lives of those we support. Again, thank you, Code of Support, for this recognition and for your work with veterans. And congratulations to the other recipients, and thanks to them for all that they do. I'm truly honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Margarita, the honor is well-deserved, thank you. And our next honoree is a leader in philanthropy on many causes, but perhaps none with more impact than to Code of Support. So let's welcome Toast to Our Troops 2020 honoree Catherine Grimes, Director of Corporate Philanthropy for Bristol Myers Squibb Foundation.
Good evening, and a big virtual welcome to all of you who are tuning in tonight to support the Code of Support Foundation, an organization that has been a true force in creating networks to help veterans in our communities. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Catherine Grimes, and I'm a director at the Bristol Myers Squibb Foundation, where for the past 10 years, I've had the honor and the privilege of directing our Veterans Mental Health and Wellbeing Grant Program, where together with our partners, we've helped to serve almost 800,000 veterans and their families. Although I wish we could all be together in person tonight, I do want to commend the Code of Support Foundation for continuing to host this virtual event, as it is imperative for organizations like the Code of Support Foundation, who are providing such critical services for troops, veterans, and families, to continue to find ways to innovate and to raise funds to sustain their important work, even in the face of unthinkable challenges like the ones the COVID-19 pandemic have presented. So I hope you're all feeling very generous tonight. I remember vividly when I first met Christy Kaufman and was introduced to the Code of Support Foundation. We were at a conference at the beautiful and historic Red Cross buildings in Washington, D.C. I was on a panel and Christy was in the audience asking smart questions, as she does. For those of you who don't know Christy, she is a truly fearless leader who speaks her mind, goes after what she knows is right, and takes on challenges to help improve systems that she knows could be better. Christy, a quick shout out to you to say our communities are made better by people like you. After that conference, Christy followed up by scheduling a meeting with me in my office in New York City to tell me about an idea she had to develop a portal which would house not just a directory of resources, not yet another yellow pages for troops, veterans, and families, but a repository of truly useful and vetted and accurate and up-to-date resources to help connect troops, veterans, and families to services they so desperately need and deserve. There had been many attempts to codify searchable resources for veterans, but none had been highly successful, and many had been widely criticized. Meanwhile, this idea was on the top list of the top 5 proposed solutions that were all the buzz in the field to help improve outcomes for transitioning veterans, yet no one had gotten it right. Christy made a good case for why her idea was different and clearly articulated all the reasons why the other attempts out there had failed and how her solution would solve for those deficits in the other programs. And since we're a foundation that's not afraid to take a risk and invest in bold and innovative ideas, we said yes. And I'm happy to say that that investment has paid off. It has paid off in terms of the dividends that Patriot Link has paid to veterans and service members, in terms of linking them to appropriate services in a timely manner without frustration and added senseless burden. Over the past 5 years, Code of Support Foundation has partnered with thousands of local, regional, and federal agencies and organizations to create the network of veteran support that is Patriot Link. Their memorandum of understanding with the Department of Veterans Affairs has thus far resulted in over 17,000 veterans, family members, and VA providers using the platform to identify and access the support they need and have earned through their sacrifice and service. Recently, Code of Support Foundation and the Veterans Benefit Administration have opened a dialogue about integrating Patriot Link into the VA's efforts to support service members as they're transitioning from active duty to civilian life, which would result in hundreds of thousands of veterans signing up and benefiting from the platform every year. Additionally, Code of Support is working closely with the technology sector to include funding and technical support from Google and Amazon Web Services. And they were the first nonprofit to be accepted as a member of the Consumer Technology Association, opening the door to increased support from the technology sector. And so while I thank Code of Support Foundation and accept this award in recognition of our work to serve and improve the mental health and community reintegration needs for our military service members, veterans, and their families, it is really your work that we're here to celebrate and honor tonight. We're humbled by the honor of this award, but as I always tell my staff, we are only as good as the grantees that we fund and who are supporting the incredible service members and their families who are serving bravely to protect us and our freedoms. And that's exactly what Code of Support Foundation is all about. I want to congratulate my fellow honoree here tonight, Margarita Devlin. Keep up the great work. And I'll end by saying, enjoy the rest of this evening together and give generously. The importance of a support system and community have never been more apparent. And together we can and will accomplish great things. Thank you.
Yes, we will accomplish great things, Catherine. Thank you so much for being a part of that.
Hey, everybody. It's Coach Swinney at Clemson. Hey, listen, I just want to thank you.
And we have a very special guest now coming up next. You just heard a little bit of him, but we're going to give you the full comments. Coach Dabo Swinney, the Clemson University head football coach. Coach Swinney led the Tigers to national championships in 2016 and in 2018. He trails only Frank Howard for the most wins by a head coach in Clemson history.
Hey, everybody. It's Coach Swinney at Clemson. Hey, listen, I just want to thank you for being a part of this event tonight. I also want to thank the Code of Support Foundation for having this event. You know, the COVID-19 has obviously impacted our entire country, but our veterans and their families, you know, they give us the opportunity to be free every single day, and have made unbelievable sacrifices for all of us. So thank you for your consideration and support for this great event and this great cause. Thank you to all you veterans and families out there. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And if you want to support, you can go to codeofsupport.org and make your donation. Have a great night. Toast to our troops.
Indeed, Coach Swinney, thank you so much for those inspiring words. And Ben, how are we doing?
Well, the word is, of course, that we have gone into extra innings, right? We are into overtime. We have all of our sports figures there. And now I think maybe someone said they were still trying to dial up. They were out there in parts unknown in the rural part of America. They were dialing in. We wanted to make sure they had a chance. So here's the good news. The good news that tonight, this online gathering of supporters has more than doubled the amount that was donated to last year's event. We're super excited about that. We've got just a few moments to go in the auction that is both silent and live. We have exceeded $21,000 in direct donations. We often like to say, you know, the more you give, the bigger your deduction next time when you're doing your taxes. Okay, that helps. The more you give, the better that feels. And so I just want to say a sincere thank you, a heartfelt gratitude, because every dollar makes a difference. And in a world where there seems to be a degree of negativity, this can be a shining light. Code of Support, standing out there in arm in support of our men and women, their families. And if you tuned in tonight, you're a part of that. So let's do our part by sharing that good news, sharing the message of Code of Support, encouraging those to sign up, receive messages from them, find out how they can volunteer and help, and be that force for good. Now, the countdown is here. And so I'm just going to do a quick check because we're at 21,450. A reminder about the masks, a reminder about the $100 donation that puts food on someone's table. So I will check the final tally here and see where we are as I'm refreshing on my phone. So here we are, 5 minutes to go. So a big salute, of course, to all those who made their donation, and a big salute to all those who are bidding in the auction. And if I haven't said this, you know, when you wake up tomorrow, you may be asking yourself, why didn't I bid just one more time? Why didn't I just take one more step in the right direction? When you wake up tomorrow, you want to wake up a winner, Brianna. So what do you think? You think we could get maybe one extra bid on these auction items, as this could be the final 5 minutes as we count it down?
I think so. I think that we should push for that.
Well, you know, see, you've been to an auction before, and you know that that's always the right answer. Someone said, you know, how do I know if I'm the winning bidder? Well, add a zero. Just add a zero to any of the bids out there. That almost always puts you in the first place position. And Martha's Vineyard, this is 10 days. It's currently at 5,500. 10 days. Now, 14 people. Someone said in the chat there that they were going to charge their family members to join them. They were going to make some side money right here on this vacation to Martha's Vineyard, all right? And not to mention, of course, Loretto, Kentucky, they will let you stand there by a vat of that bourbon, the mash. They have everyone put their finger in there, and they say, hey, 7 years from now, you could say that you had a hand in making some of this delicious Maker's Mark bourbon. So here we go. This will be it. I'm going to just count it down right here. 4 minutes to go. And let's see here. Ready? Well, why don't we just leave it in the capable hands of the bidders, Brianna? Let's just let them focus. Pretend like you're some of my children's friends where you're maybe with others right now, but focus only on your phone and focus on bidding. So 3 minutes to go. I'm going to send it back to you. Thank you, everyone, for bidding. Thank you for all those who made these amazing donations so the bidding is possible. And for those, the number is still climbing, who donated $21,000, and the number still climbing, $600. And here we go with 3.5 minutes. We'll quietly let them bid until they win. Bidding feels good. Winning feels better. Brianna, let's wish them luck. Without 21,700, it still climbs.
It's still climbing. And look, this is just a final reminder of what we're talking about tonight. The need is always great. We have asked a lot of our veterans and of our military families. They are looking for support. They are looking for answers. They are looking for the right place to go. And Code of Support tells them that. You said it, Ben. There are some folks out there who got to that acute point where they realized they needed support and they were Googling. They don't need to Google. They can go to Code of Support and they can get pointed in the direction they need to go. We heard from Cindy and Colby. This is life-saving. That's what this money is doing. This is supporting the caregiver staff that is making sure that families who were already dealing with issues like TBI and PTSD, and finally getting to that point where they say, and it's a hard point to get to, I need help, and taking that important step, and that there's someone there on the other side of the computer or of the phone line who is answering that call and making sure that a family like that, a family of 10, who certainly need their dad, are going to get through this, Ben.
Well, and what is so important, everyone, of course, you are here, you know this, but even someone picking up the phone and listening in the beginning, just to understand what your needs are, even before the service has been delivered, your level of stress starts to fall. Your healing can continue. And so we are so appreciative of Code of Support. And here we go at the final countdown. Now we're at 21,700. If someone's out there like to give that 300, Brianna, I would say, 22,000, nice and even. That feels good. Great place to celebrate. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Now, here we are at 21,725. Someone just earned themselves a handmade mask right there. So this is it. We're talking 90 seconds. I may just stay right here. What do you say? We just stay right here to count it down, because this is the point where I want you to focus only on your phone. The nose, not to the grindstone, friends, nose to the smartphone. All right. Focus on bidding and winning. The trip to Pearman Vineyards is you get to make a 10th anniversary batch of wine that celebrates Code of Support. You get to work behind the scenes to create this batch of wine. And then you get the first case that comes out of the cask. So how exciting is that? Pearman Cellars, that's right there in Virginia. For those of you in DC, just a short little drive. So here we go. Let's get fired up. 21,725, 42 seconds to go. Now, there may be just a slight delay out there, depending on your internet speed. So don't wait until the final minute. Go ahead, dig deep, bid one more time, and win. Less than a minute, Brianna. The countdown is here.
Less than a minute. And look, I'm going to put in something. If you folks can get us if you can get us to 22 or over 22, I will make up the difference personally to get us to 23. Can I get some more?
The challenge is on right there. That is a call that must be answered.
Challenge, Ben.
Come on. Look, we appreciate that offer, Brianna. So jump in. If you're listening, bid right now, make it happen. She's chiming in to go. Here we go. The count is in. Here we are. And the auction now. That is it. So we'll have to let's see how the final tally sift through the servers and back down to see how we did. But a huge thank you to everyone in the auction. 22,000. You.
All right. That worked.
Yes.
Love it. I will
Thank
make
you.
a difference.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Well done, Brianna.
All right, Ben, thank you so much. That was truly inspiring to spend the evening with you. This could not be possible without you. And next is a final message from the CEO of the Code of Support Foundation, Christy Kaufman, followed by the tremendous staff of Code of Support. And finally, we're going to be closing with a special musical tribute from, and I'm very excited about this, the West Point Alumni Glee Club, which is comprised of Academy graduates who as cadets had sung in the Cadet Glee Club. Alumni Glee Club members span some 50 years of West Point graduating classes. All members are veterans. They're averaging nearly 20 years of service. 75% are combat veterans. And by special permission from singer-songwriter Lee Greenwood, the club will close our program with their own arrangement of God Bless the USA. And first, let's welcome back CEO Christy Kaufman, followed by the staff of Code of Support.
Wow, what a fantastic evening. Brianna, thank you so much for hosting us for our first virtual Toast to Our Troops. Some of the stories we heard tonight in the remarks from Secretary McCarthy really highlight not just how challenging times are right now, but how the military veteran community pulls together to meet those challenges. I think that we know that we have practice leading through crisis, and that's something that Code of Support is always looking to help folks do that have served in our military. We're really excited about some upcoming partnerships with Amazon Web Services and Google. With a technology platform like Patriot Link, it's imperative that we have the support of technology companies that really know how to connect. And I think you heard from the Brown family this evening how important it was for them to stay connected, and Patriot Link helped them do that. We're also really excited about the potential partnership with the VA in supporting the transition efforts. As people leave the military, sometimes they feel a loss of community. And Patriot Link can really help connect folks back to their community as they continue to serve outside of uniform. And of course, we're really happy about our partnership with Charlie Mike. They're going to help us tell stories about some of the families that you've heard tonight, military veteran caregivers. We know and we hear a lot about veterans and active duty, but we don't hear as much about the family members. And from my own personal experience as an Army wife, I can tell you that it's the family members that keep it all together. So we're really excited about our partnership with Charlie Mike as well. So thanks again to everybody, especially our sponsors, our 4-star sponsors, Penn Fed and Bristol Myers Squibb Foundation. This was such a successful evening. We can't do this without you. So thank you for your generosity and have a fantastic rest of your evening.
On behalf of Fox and I, we want to thank you for attending Toast to Our Troops.
Thank you for coming to Toast to Our Troops. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you for everyone for attending tonight's Toast to Our Troops.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate your support tonight.
Thank you to all who gave so generously tonight to Toast Our Troops.
Tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time to stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. And there ain't no doubt it's time to stand and say. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt we love this land. God bless the USA. Land that I love.